Greetings and welcome back to my channel, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. I want to apologize for not uploading a video sooner. I've been having a lot of technical issues lately. I did an interview with a friend of mine, Chris. He is a DM. He owns a DM company. It was an amazing interview. I really enjoyed talking with you. But the problem is the audio was so choppy. It kept on cutting in and out and it completely ruined everything. Hopefully, Chris is going to be willing to do it again and I will upload it onto the channel. And now let's begin with this video with a storm across Ansalon that starts the War of the Souls. So hit the intro. And the tale continues as a massive storm strikes across Ansalon, sweeping from one side of the continent to the next. Out of this storm, a young woman named Mina emerges. Mina proclaims herself a servant of the one god and begins gathering an army of the living and the dead. In the aftermath of the storm, most of the good dragons disappear from Ansalon. Takisis had kidnapped them, imprisoning them on the solitary moon. A strange Kender emerges from the tomb of the last heroes in Solas, claiming to be the champion Tesselhoff Barefoot and wielding an artifact known as the Device of Time Journeying. He is taken to Palin, who escorts the Kender to Chelsea and the Citadel of Light to see Goldmoon. Funny thing about this, Tess went back in time to go to Caramon's funeral to say some nice things about him. First time he arrived too late and he missed the funeral completely. This is the second time that he arrived and he arrived too early. He was able to go to the Inn of the Last Home and he visited Caramon and he talked with him and told him the whole story and how he came to his funeral to say some nice things about it. Caramon was very happy to see him, but Palin did not really believe that it was Tess because Palin was there when Tess was killed by the almighty Chaos, and having him return from the dead to go to his father's funeral seemed kind of ridiculous to him. And that's why he took him to Goldmoon, as Goldmoon was one of the original champions and she was one of the wisest people around, so she knew what to do with Tess. Somehow, during the night of the Great Storm, Goldmoon regains her youth and her beauty, something she bitterly resents, for she fears that it will be even longer before she could reunite with the spirit of her deceased husband, Riverwind. The Brass Dragon Overlord, Aista, and the Blue Dragon Overlord, Stentaduntalus Padampadumpalus, are both killed, Aista by a strange army of brutes led by an enigmatic figure working with the Blue Dragon Overlord Thunder, and Stendalus by the Rose Knight Linsa Majer. The weapon used to kill both of these dragons is an artifact originally crafted but never used by Lord Ariakan for the Dark Knights, the Abyssal Lands. The Green Dragon Overlord Brillianox attacks the Citadel of Light, hunting the artifact wielded by Tesselhoff Barefoot. Though she does not capture the artifact, much of the Citadel is destroyed. Mina and her army of the One God manage to pierce the shield surrounding Sylvanesti through the efforts of a green dragon spy in the elves' midst, Shane Bloodbane. Shane is killed and the shield is destroyed, but Sylvanesti come under martial law. Fun fact about Shane Bloodbane, Shane was actually the one that erected the shield to protect the elves. He did that by manipulating the elven people to fear the outside world and wanting to create the shield to protect themselves, not knowing that the shield itself was eating them alive. Slowly but surely, the radius of the shield decreased, as the shield itself was drawing its energy from every living being in the Sylvanesti forest. From the trees to the elves themselves, everybody was sick and everybody was dying. So on the one hand, taking the shield down did save the elven nation, but on the other, it led to their demise. Laurana, the Golden General, and Marshal Madain, the Dark Knight agent of the Green Dragon Overlord Brillianex, work with the elven people to kill the dragon, while the king Gilthas leads his people to safety. Unfortunately, not only do Laurana and Marshal Madain die in the attack, but in her death throes, Brillianex destroys the capital of Quellanost, leaving only a lake of death. The Quellanesti elves are now without a home, and risk the Plane of Dust to seek refuge in the forest nation of Sylvanesti. This is another instance of showing how freaking amazing Laurana is. She is a badass through and through. Now, Marshal Madain was the Marshal Overlord of Qualinesti working for the Green Dragon. He was placed there to make sure that the laws were kept and that tribute was given to the Dark Knights and to the Green Dragon. After being there for so long, the Marshal fell in love with the Elven people and the Elven nation, and all he wanted to do was to help them escape their slavery. It also helped that he fell in love with Laurana and she pushed him in the right direction. He was never an evil man, even though he worked for the wrong side, and I really like the transformation of his character. In Nightlude, Goldmoon confronts Mina, her adopted daughter, in the Tower of High Sorcery that once stood in Palanthas. Mina reveals that it was the one god who returned Goldmoon's youth, that one of the deities has not abandoned the world, revealing that the one god is Takisis. Goldmoon rebuffs both the Dark Queen and Mina, angering the Dark Queen who strips away the youth she had granted her. Goldmoon dies, held in Mina's arms. Mina guards Goldmoon's body in a magical coffin of amber. Now, in the same time that this is happening, both Palin Majer and Dalamar the Dark are at the tower, and they attack Mina, trying to stop her and her one god. Both of them are killed in the attempt but are brought back to life as living corpses without a soul. They are stuck in the back of a carriage for the remainder of the war, with Goldmoon's body being carried from place to place after Mina. Mina, the priestess of the one god, confronts Calandras in his own lair. In the disagreement over his betrayal by the one god, Calandras seeks to take out his rage on Mina, only to find his own breath weapon turned back upon him. Now, for those of you who play D&D, you know that a blue dragon is immune to lightning damage. The fact that Mina was able to kill him with his own breath weapon is freaking amazing. Mina is a true badass. Having learned through prayer from Goldmoon that Krynn has been stolen from them, the other deities convey and reach a decision on how to deal with Takisis. Takisis reveals herself after Mina and the army of the One God capture the city of Sanction. Her power unchallenged by the missing gods, she is unaware that Tesselhoff Barefoot has been hopping through time, attempting to stitch back together the stream of time to allow the other deities to return to Krynn. Enraged to discover that this so-called one god has stolen her skull totems, the great red Melistrix flies to Sanction to avenge this insult. She is met in the air by Mina, wielding a dragon lance atop an undead dragon. Melistrix is killed in the battle, and this is another huge feat for Mina. She killed by herself two dragon overlords, the two most powerful dragon overlords, and it's an incredible feat taking out Melistrix. While Alahana leads the combined forces of Sylvanesti and Qualinesti elves to the city of Sanction to save her son, who is smitten with Mina, the Minotaurs attack Sylvanesti from the south, ousting the remaining forces of Mina's army and begin their own plan to conquer Ansalon. After stitching back the fabric of time and allowing the gods to return, Tesselhoff and his companions travel to the solitary moon where Takisis has imprisoned the metallic dragons. Tesselhoff then frees the dragons and returns to his proper place in time, where his death will be the final key needed to complete this stream of time. And this comes to show you how brave Tesselhoff really is. Although he is just one Kender, he did all of this, and he still went back to get crushed by chaos, understanding that his sacrifice is what the world needs to continue. Rest in peace, Tesselhoff Barefoot. As the Dark Queen reaches for ultimate triumph, a strange elf stands before her. The elf is the deity Paladine who has sacrificed his immortality to strip Takisis of her own, the laws of balance reasserting themselves. As Takisis seeks to kill Mina, whom she blames for her failure, Sylvanoshi, the son of Alahana and Portheus, steps between them and slays Takisis with a broken dragon lance. Sylvanoshi is in turn killed by the guilt-stricken Mina, who then gathers the dead body of her queen in her arms and promises to track down and slay the now mortal Paladine. The other deities return to reclaim their world, bringing with them the return of divine magic and high sorcery. When the gods of magic return to Krynn, they offer Palin Majer and Dalamar the Dark the option to regain their life and their magic. Dalamar accepts the offer lovingly, returning to exactly where he was, while Palin accepts the first offer of life and rejects the second offer of magic. He goes back to his wife Usha and starts to live a normal life. And that is it, my dear friends, for this video, and sadly also for the Ages of Krynn. This series was so much fun to produce and make. I learned so much about creation doing this series. I learned so much about Krynn doing this series. Now, there is another trilogy called The Dark Disciples. It follows Mina from the death of the queen until her... Well, I'm not going to ruin that. I'm going to keep that for the next video. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that, and that is going to be the final conclusion of the Ages of Krynn. That means that after the next video, I need to find a new topic about Dragonlance to talk about. Will it be Adlatum? Will it be Taladas? Will it be just focusing on specific people throughout history? I don't know. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.